Hey everyone, welcome to On the Rocks. I'm your trail guide, Claudia Collins, and I'm taking you along for my adventures as I check hikes, waterfalls, and other outdoor activities off of my Arizona bucket list. Today we're hiking Yavapai Point Trail in Lake Pleasant Regional Park. This trail is 3 miles long with 450 feet of elevation gain, and it's rated moderate. Somehow in 4 years of hiking all across Arizona, I've never actually made it out to Lake Pleasant, so I'm excited about this trail because I think we're gonna get lots of nice Lake Point views. Let's go check it out. My thought was we've probably only got a few weeks left to see the super bloom out on a hike. And I had a feeling that a hike around Lake Pleasant would deliver some of the best super bloom views in the Phoenix area, and spoiler alert, I thought correctly. At the beginning of this hike, you'll want to follow the pipeline trail. I decided to hike clockwise to get the best lake views. This trail was yellow and green as far into the distance as I could see, but the little pops of purple, blue, orange, and pink with the views of the water in the distance made this truly spectacular. We hit the trails pretty early. A 6 a.m. wake-up call, a light breakfast, and a 1-hour drive had us beginning the hike around 8 a.m. In my opinion, that was the perfect timing to hit the trail before it got into the 80s. This time of year, it's especially important to pack lots of water, extra water, snacks, and have your eye peeled out for snakes. By this point, I can say this hike is easy, not moderate. Beginners would be just fine on this trail, and there's so many stunning lookouts to take a break and wacky saguaros. Here's where we come across the continuation trail to Yavapai Point. This is where we veer off from the pipeline trail to get to the final lookout, but we're only about a half mile away from the peak of the hike, but about 20 feet behind me, there's a rattlesnake right about here on the trail that's preventing us from moving on. So we've kind of tried to figure out if we could get around it, but it's just not possible. So we're gonna have to turn around. At least this beautiful butterfly made up for it, but in all seriousness, use your best judgment when you encounter snakes. We waited about 10 minutes from a safe distance to see if the snake would move, but with my pup along for the hike and a very narrow trail, we felt it wasn't the right call to continue on, especially because we would have a hard time remembering where the snake was on our way back. Even though we were cut short by just a bit, it didn't feel like a huge loss. We loved the lake views and the blooming flowers, and we were able to take a little extra time to enjoy it all. And we knew we had plenty more to do in the park this morning, so we hopped in the car and headed down to the lake access road. So we had to cut the hike short, but it's really not a big deal when you're at Lake Pleasant Regional Park because we just got to come down and enjoy the water instead. After spending some time at the lake and more wildlife sightings, it was time to head home. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time on the rocks.